say welcome, everyone. Welcome all our people that have been here, been with me since the beginning, which was last summer. And I want to welcome everybody that is newly joining us. I hope you're able to navigate the group and see all what's going on. My name is Angie Green. I'm the founder of our group. And the first thing I want to do is announce the induction of Michelle French as one of our moderators in the group. So, welcome, Michelle. I know she's traveling, doing work with her husband. They have a business that has them on the road. So sometimes, if she hears me good, if she can't hear me right now, hopefully she'll pick it up on the feed. And the rest of the moderators are Bonnie Stockton, she's my administrator, Patricia Simmons, and Leanne Keeley, who's in Australia and takes care of us at night. So I want to say thank you for all our moderators. They do a good job. Also, I want to emphasize the purpose of our paint parties is to help unify the group. We are all on our individual journeys, but as a group, we're traveling together. So we lift each other up, we share, we contribute to the happiness of each other through our art, our kindness, and we try to make a difference in each other's lives. So we try to be positive on here. I know there's other, going off script, so hope I don't get myself in trouble, but I know there's other Facebook fibromyalgia groups out there. I think ours is outstanding. We somehow manage to be uplifting and positive, and so people want to be here. So I'm very happy about that, and I really want to thank all of you for contributing that way. So thank you guys. You all make the group. Okay, so what we have here is our burnt umber painted ground on our 16 by 20 canvas, and I have it horizontal in a landscape fashion. And what we're going to do is we're going to paint our swan. The swan is what won. So this is what the swan looks like. And I'm going to hold it up for you guys to see. Hopefully you could see it. But this is what the swan is going to look like painted. So I hope you guys enjoy doing that with me today. We're just going to put the water in first right now. So we're going to be able to do that in a very simple way. It looks hard when you look at the photo. It looked hard for me because I hadn't really concentrated on doing paintings with ripples until this one. So I just want to get everybody excited about this. This was a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. So we're going to get started on that. And what we're going to do is we're going to first sip our whatever we fixed ourselves. Mine's coffee. It would be really bad if I fell asleep on here. We're going to mix some ultramarine blue on our palette. Plenty of titanium white, our big staple as far as paints go. And lately, burnt umber is a staple for us. I don't know. I think it's because we've been doing a lot of water and a lot of land. So we'll put some burnt umber there too. And we kind of need more than I thought before painting this of everything. So I'm putting enough out there on my palette to not have to keep going back in it over and over again. I think I still need a little bit more. of the blue here. George, my husband's such a nice guy. He just ran out and bought me some more ultramarine blue. I was about out of it and didn't realize it. So I'm going to have to do an art haul. I did a dollar store haul today. I got all kinds of hoarder type stuff. It was fun. That's what I feel like if I'm in the dollar store and I'm in line with a bunch of junk. I think about those hoarder shows. Don't those motivate us to get going and get everything done? I can't understand how you could find a dead rat in your house and be okay with it. Like it's okay. Oh my goodness. I am not the neat freak, but oh my goodness, a dead rat, like just laying around somewhere chilling. Oh. So anyway, enough of that. What we're going to do is we're going to make like a ropey design going from this corner, and we're going to bring that across, not totally diagonally, but we're going to bring it from the top corner to maybe not quite the halfway point right here on the edge here. So let me move this out the way so you guys could see a little bit better. I'm gonna switch this real quick and move it down out of the way. I'm getting fancy schmancy with this stuff. Okay, so now you can see we're gonna bring it from this top edge and we're going to bring it to right about here. So it's not a big diagonal, and this is how the waves are going to be, a little bit of a diagonal. It's going to make it very interesting. Okay, so I'll do that first so you can see. It's going to start out it's going to look a little ropey, and then we're going to add more lines as we keep going. It's going to be our typical layers. So I'm going to put a little titanium white, mix it with some blue and a dot of burnt umber, okay, to tone it down. But I mean just a dot, so I have to go back in and get some more of the ultramarine blue. If I say phthalo blue, I'm sorry. I'm so used to that color being my typical blue color. It's ultramarine blue. So I'm trying to get some more blue and white into this because that burnt umber just took over. Okay, here we go. So it's very gray, and I'm going to show you up close how gray that is. It looks bluer than it really is. Okay, it's gray with a hint of blue. Not as dark gray as our last painting, the boat painting, but gray enough with a hint of blue. So it's kind of going to look a little like periwinkle, you know? So here we go. I need a little more water on here. We're going to make a ropey design. So we're going to go like this, and we're going to make this ropey kind of design. Not perfect, because we don't want the whole thing to be perfect looking. We're going to go across here like that. Make like a rope, like a chain, but solid and filled in, okay? So you'll see the unevenness. You see that? That's what I want you to see. Okay, now, so it's kind of a ropey design, and I exaggerated a little bit so you guys could see it. It doesn't have to be this fat at the end, okay? It's not going to matter because we're going to go over this and make some more brown lines. We're going to let the background brown show in between as we paint these solid blue colors on here. So we're going to do another one. but it's going to be kind of close, close. See that? To this one. It's going to be very close. And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfectly even. It's going to look very mixed up by the time we get done with it. Okay? So you see how we're going to do that? And we're going to keep going with that. These are going to be much skinnier, much more, less exaggerated. Much skinnier. I'm going to go across. You might have to dampen your brush a little bit. If I'm going too fast for you, let me know. Okay. I'm not able to see the chat that well. If anyone's in and out, then you guys can kind of help catch them up to what we're doing. But they're skinnier than what I'm doing. I'm going to make mine skinnier when we put the brown back in, okay? See, they're more like this. And I like that, you know, that free and easy feel. If it's not solid looking and it has a little more blue in it, that's fine, okay? We're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep on doing this. And that's this end. Now, this is what I want to tell you, too. I'm putting a little more brown in there. This end is supposed to be darker than this end. This end is supposed to be darker. So don't go into it if it's just starting to dry. We could go back into it and darken it up a little bit after it dries. Otherwise, we'll lift it back off the canvas. We don't want to do that. Let's see, I need to put a little. So this is what I'm doing. I know it looks strange. And then we could put some in between because I got it a little bit too far apart. So I sneaked some in between there. And it's that same combination of white, titanium white, a little bit of ultramarine blue, and just a touch of burnt umber. When it starts to get too dry, you just add a touch of water in there on your palette, on your paint in your palette. Okay. So, see, it's a bit slanted. It's not ridiculously slanted. And when we get to this edge, we want the paint to come off the edge. Not perfectly, but we do want it to go all the way up on that edge. Okay. Also, we're going to have to come down here and close that up a little because with waves, the farther they are, the farther the water is away from us, the closer together the waves are. So I'm closing this gap right here, but I had that big gap to show you the direction we were going on there. So if you notice, it's getting more subtle. Okay, and we're going to keep going. Down here, the lines get fatter. Okay, but we're going to swirl it up. So don't worry, it looks real strange right now, but we're going to swirl this up. It's going to be more, it's going to be more flatter looking, not quite as round and not quite as curvy. When you get down here, it's going to be more like that. Let's see, can you see? Yes. Okay, and then I'm going to sneak some in between. Okay, I'm going to sneak a little bit more in here. And it doesn't have to be connected. This is when it starts getting interesting. Okay. Okay. A little dry brushing here. A little bit of dry brushing. Okay, in between. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do, I'm going a little fast. So this is kind of what it looks like right now, okay? I'm going a little bit fast. I'm going to let that dry. And it's darker, it's supposed to be darker on that end than on this end. So I'm going to darken that up before I start adding our little swirly things. Because we're going to add some swirls. But before that, I'm going to darken this up a little bit. Because now it's had enough time to dry a little for me to do that. So the same combinations of ultramarine blue and white and just a touch of the burnt umber. So I'm going to darken this end up just a little bit because that was a little too light. The other side is supposed to be the light side. Okay. I'm going to darken this up. Alright. This is really too light. But you know how you have to adjust as you go. Nothing unusual. Okay, that looks a little better. And this is almost too blue, so I'm going to fix that up a little bit. Okay. Going a little fast even for myself. Okay. And this is a little too dark, so I'm going to lighten this up on this end because it went the opposite of how I want it to go. So this needs to lighten up. Okay. I'm putting some titanium white, just some straight titanium white on here and lightening up this end. Because this is where our light is. Okay. All right. Now what we need to do is take another brush, another bright, I said flat, I think in the Facebook, but something a little less, I want it to be thinner lines when we do this, okay? Thinner lines. So we're going to take the edge of this brush and put on some lines in between lines. But in order to do that, we're going to take some dioxazine purple. I know it's in here somewhere. And we're going to add it to the palette to darken up that burnt umber. So we're going to go way darker. A combination of dioxazine purple and burnt umber. We're going to dip our fresh brush into it, and we're going to keep these lines a little flatter, not the broad side, but the skinny. We're going to make skinny lines. Okay? So we need some water on that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make some skinny lines in between here, and we're going to break this up a little bit. Put some skinny lines, skinny dark lines on top so that it's not so, okay, some skinny lines in here. And we're going to break up some up. Oh, that's too purple. We're going to break this up a little bit. A little bit of a braid. See that? See how I have a little bit of a braid in there? And same with this, we're breaking that up a little bit. Okay. Not completely down the middle of all of them. We're just going to make it uneven. Uneven. Do you see my stroke here? Burnt umber and purple, but it's supposed to lean more on the brown side, not the purple side, okay? And if it leans on the purple side, that's fine. But we're kind of sneaking in there, but going off. We're going off the, you know how you're not supposed to paint outside the lines? We're actually doing just the opposite. We're purposely painting outside the lines, okay? So it still looks a mess, but you'll see where it's going to start coming together, okay? You don't want it so choppy that the ducks won't want to be on the water. So I'm just going through with some more blue and brown and white to give it some more continuity, see? In that diagonal. Okay. That was a little too blue, so I'll put a little white in there. And it's a dry brush, see that? At first it was a wet brush, but now we're trying to smooth it out so it's a dry brush. And I need a little bit more white in here. Same thing, we're putting some of that back. Okay? There we go. Now, without the duck, it looks nothing like water. But when you put that duck in there, it's a swan, I know. I'm just playing with that whole duck thing. But when you put it back in there, I'm putting a little bit more swerves, some more. Okay. When you put that duck in there, it's going to look more like water, because your brain's going to say, oh, that's water. Oh, I get it now. So you see? But I don't want these lines too interrupted. That's what I'm trying to do. So that your eye has a little bit more fluid look to it. It's not perfect, it's not neat, but you still want your eyes to follow more fluid look. All right. So I'm looking on my monitor to see how far I've gotten as far as how it looks in the end. I have a lot of brown in there, kind of like smooth that out a little bit. Smooth out brown a little with a little bit more of the blue, so it's not so choppy. We don't want the ducks to get in trouble. Okay. Where I have too thick of the brown, I'm smoothing it out a little bit with the with that blue combination. Okay. Okay, and as long as you still see that slant, you still see it's going diagonal. You guys probably aren't Russian like me, so you could probably not have to go back as much as I did. Did you see that? Elena and I used to have a hairdresser that say, "You see that? If she messed up, see now, see." We used to imitate her. Okay, there. So that's my water. Now it's a little more um, stripy on this one. Let's see. It's hard for me to tell where you guys are. Okay, it looks a little more stripy on this one. But you see how when you put the duck and the reflection, how it makes it really pretty and interesting? In my opinion, it does. This is a little bit deeper. It's a little more smeary, but it still has that same effect, okay? When you put that duck in there, it's going to give it more of a watery look to it, especially when you put the reflection in there. Putting the two together, and they look very close. It's just that my lines are more crisp on the duck one. My brown lines are more crisp on the one that I have the duck on, okay? But they're very, very close, very similar. So it's going to be another one like before where I'm not going to be sure which one I like the best because I did the boat painting one ahead of time too. And it ends up looking close. Just a lot of, how do I say this? A lot of my paintings stem from how I want to feel and where I want to be and what I look forward to because I have a positive hope in the future. Okay, so that's my escape from things that are depressing, like pain and problems and things like that. So I'm not one to get into dark paintings and painting pain and painting suffering. I feel like I got enough of that, you know? I want to forget about how I feel. I want to feel good and I want to make myself feel good and I want to kind of like crawl into my painting, crawl onto that raft that's in the water or um, you know, be able to see that duck, be able to look at that fall tree. I have enough of dreary, not feeling good kind of stuff, just getting up in the morning. So I don't know if you want to paint something dark or something like where you're showing your pain or expressing your pain. Be true to yourself. If you need to do that, be true to yourself. But it's just not me to go into that dark on my free time, on my fun time. Why am I going to go into that dark place, And so that's just how I am. I'm just expressing myself. So I'm trying to be true to myself. You feel, and whatever makes you feel fulfilled, then you can take it there. But that's how I am, and I feel like that's how most of the group is. Most of the group, we talk about our pain, we talk about how we feel at the moment, and but we try to lift each other up, and we try to bring ourselves and bring each other um, some kind of relief for the moment. For the moment that we're in the group, we try to bring that positivity and bring that atmosphere